Hello, welcome to our home at Young's Crossing. Well, I have an old Hoosier cabinet that was my husband's grandparents, and I enjoy decorating it for the different holidays. And as you can see by the mess behind me, I've emptied it out of my regular year-round decor. And I've got it emptied out over there. And we're going to pull out all my Christmas stuff and see what looks good in there. So I hope you'll like and subscribe. And if you already have, I appreciate it. I've already cleaned the top and I've already got my blow mold up there of Santa. And I like it there because I can get it plugged in more easily. And I have a little candle over here that I like to plug in. And I don't want to put holes in my cabinet. So I'd have to kind of figure ways around. I like to say we rescued this cabinet. As I said, it was my husband's grandmother's, and they had left it in their old house when they built a new one. When we moved out here, we went into the old house, and there it was in the back of the kitchen, kind of falling through the floor. It was painted all white, but otherwise it was in really great shape. So I asked his grandmother if we could have it. I don't think she understood why we would want it, but we got it and stripped on it and stained it. And it's my favorite piece of furniture in the house. This Myers Clean Day spray, I really like it, but I have to say the lavender scent is not my favorite. So far, I like the citrus or lemon, whatever. This, I just don't like the smell. Sorry. You see, this pretty much is the extent of everything that was in the Hoosier cabinet. This bowl will go back because I do use it. It's very large, and the best place to store it is on top of the Hoosier. This will go back because I treasure it and I don't want it broke, and it fits in one spot in there perfectly. I do have some Christmas cookie cutters that will go back. And my husband's dad gave us this. It was his mom's when he was a kid. So my husband's grandmother had it. And just various other objects that don't mean much to anybody else but us. Now I'm going to put all this away that I'm not going to put up there, dust what I am, and add more Christmas. Today I'm going to share what I've done to decorate my Hoosier cabinet and a little bit on my china cabinet, and I'll talk a little through it and explain about a few items. But then later on, when I get my whole house done and I do a home tour of Christmas, I'll just show you through and won't talk through all of it, just have some Christmas music. So I hope you enjoy, and if you do, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, and a subscription would be great too. Thanks. Let's get started. First of all, this is my china cabinet with my Christmas dishes and some of my whimsical little Santas. And I'm sure I'll be tweaking this a good bit between now and Christmas. There I have an angel next to my Santa cup from when I was a kid. And the angel is there looking over the nativity here. I got some hay and put on a cookie sheet so it wouldn't be too much of a mess to clean up. And then I put the nativity scene there as though they were in the manger. And the wise men, that's where they parked their camels. And anyway, I just wanted to show you a little bit of that. As I said, before I do the full home tour, I'm sure that will be tweaked. This is just something I came up with a while ago. It's our TV here in the dining room. I thought I'd make it look like a gift package wrapped for Christmas. It lifts off easily, the wrapper does, but hides the eyesore of a TV. And now we have my Hoosier cabinet. Some of it's very much like last year. I like the blow mold up there because I had access to a plug down the side, and that works out very well. There's, looks like little Pyrex dishes, but I don't know what they are, but they're plastic. They don't look like it, but they are very vintage. And there's a star-shaped candle. And this is a coffee tin, the top one is. And it has a handle on the top. And I guess back in the 60s, something like that, 70s, they would put the coffee in a decorative Christmas-looking can so it could be reused for cookies or such as that. And there's my rolling pin and a spatula in my big heavy ironstone bowl. Then I have some garland with some lights. And here I pulled out a lot of my things and mostly replaced only the things that had red or green or were Christmas themed. And there I put a few Christmas books. And there's my very vintage little Mrs. Claus. And back there's a little vintage boot, and I put baby spoons in there. I know for a fact one was mine. I think one was my husband's. And I'm not sure about the other. And then the little tiny Santa mug. Mine are not this one. My spoon, I remember well because it has a Gerber baby on the handle, if you can see that. And I noticed that my husband's, I've got a magnifying glass and looked, and it says Tinkerbell. Then this is my tree. The little ornaments and candy canes and lights. And I wrapped some little boxes I had to put under the tree. There's a vintage salt and pepper shaker. And I used a place card marker for a picture holder again. These are Christmas ones. And then my Christmas cookie cutters. And here I have my vintage Santa oil light, oil lamp. And as you can probably see, after all these years since I was a kid, I can remember it probably 60 years. I broke the little chimney part today, and I tried to glue it back together. Just made me sick. I almost cried. And my little lady Belle, little girl Belle, and my cookie jar. And there I have another vintage Santa. And normally I have blue paper that matches my wallpaper. It's under here, but I put some placemats or napkins over the top. And a little bit of red and green dishes back there. And a little vintage girl there and a vintage boot. And another vintage girl and my hen on a nest. I've got a tin back in the back and then one right there. And this Santa, it's a very old home interior bank is what that is. Anyway, that's what I've done thus far with my Hoosier cabinet. And I always love the look. To me, it just looks Christmassy for sure. And then I'll turn off the light, the dining room light, and we'll see what it looks like. I think it looks very festive. You can tell me what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching.